got the Boston Trucker with you. It's a crisp Sunday morning, early November. I'm over here at the Cabover Kings compound. Look at these beautiful trucks. Lots of cabovers. We're gonna learn what's behind the Cabover Kings. Talk to two great guys, Russ and Dan Simons, and learn about trucking history. And why do these guys run cabovers? Boston Trucker here. Welcome to my channel. I hope you enjoy it. While the boys get set up, let's take a little walk around, see what they got here. This is incredible. I've been hearing about this place since I found their website, I don't know, 10, 15 years ago, caboverkings.com. Check it out. I actually came looking for this place one time and I got caught up in a snowstorm. International up here. Oh yeah, old Transtar. If only I found this truck, it would have been worth the trip. This is awesome. Check out that old bad boy. I bet if this truck could talk, it sure have some stories. That fuel permit back in 1985. Good morning, Russ. Morning. What a great opening to my video. It's almost like you planned it. Are you guys producing or something? What is this thing?
A roustabout.
A roustabout?
Yep. It's made by the Hughes, where does it say on here somewhere? The Hughes Keenan Company out of Cleveland, Ohio.
No way. Dude, how old is this thing?
I'm guessing late 60s.
Really?
But as you can see, it doesn't have doors, no cab slots.
Wow. That is, I've never seen anything like this in my life. What is this called? Like a tow vehicle?
Some other Draught made one. It was called a pick and carry. It had a little platform. They could pick something up, set it on, and carry it along.
Unbelievable.
But this, we bought it out of Maine, and I'd been eyeballing it. It took me 2.5 years to get it bought.
Yeah?
I saw it. I stopped, looked at it. Dan says, "What do you want that thing for?" I said, "That would be handy."
I just saw what you needed it for.
Oh, yeah.
It looks very handy.
For picking engines and setting them in cabovers, you know, it just does anything you want to do.
Unreal.
That boom, 180 swing.
Yeah.
It telescopes out again its length. I can be on one side of a truck, reach all the way across to pick up a cat, 3406 in the transmission, pick it up and pull it back. And
Unreal.
it's kind of stout. I mean, it's all inch.
That looks really rugged.
It's about 30,000 pounds.
Is it?
You don't want to get stuck. But it does. It's handy. I mean, it's paid for itself 10 times over.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, thanks for having me here this morning.
Oh,
Good to see you.
Yes.
Good to see you.
Yes.
Nice
Dan.
early fall day. So we got Russ and we got Dan
How you doing, Mike?
Simons, right?
Yep.
Thank you for having me.
He was steering the Kenworth for us.
What's his name?
Jake.
Jake, okay.
Yeah.
So we've made it to the Cabover Kings compound. Who does the website?
Well, me, but I'm electronically challenged, so it's not as accurate as it should be.
I was on it last night. It was pretty impressive. You've updated that recently?
No, because a lot of the stuff isn't. And there's some trucks on there that aren't with us anymore.
Sure.
But it was just kind of I don't take them off because we did own them. But there's more I got to add. This summer we bought a few these red and white stand-ups.
Yep.
Those two and that one there came this summer because you just can't have enough internationals.
Right.
So, yeah, we got a Transtar 2 there. Their spreader's just sitting on it.
I see that.
And then there's a Transtar A model over there in the front of that van trailer.
I saw that. That was pretty cool.
Yep.
So let's start from the beginning. How did you guys get into trucking and why cabovers?
Well, we started in the late 80s when cabovers were what you had.
Mm-hmm.
And our father is a Mac guy,
What's his name?
Sherwood Simons,
All right.
and he was a cattle dealer. And we bought and sold used farm equipment, hauled cattle, hauled equipment. And he actually, the first truck he ever owned was we bought in 1988. We bought an 82 cruise liner, which would have looked like that
Sure.
one, except for the grab handles.
Okay.
That truck's a 1-year model with the grab handles like that.
What year is that one?
83.
Okay.
The very last of the cruise liners. And then ran that for 2 or 3 years, and we bought an 87 Freightliner conventional.
Mm-hmm.
Double bunk, and at that time I was young and foolish, and I thought I had Freightliner hats, shirts,
Freightliner
shirts.
fever.
Oh yeah. It was 4 1/4, 15 over, 390s, and tall rubber. That was the saying he said back then. Right?
Yeah, sure.
Double bunk. I mean, thought I was something. Didn't take me too long to realize that wasn't a good truck.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't see any
loud.
Freightliners here.
No, well, his cab he runs every day, but
Oh, that's right.
that truck had the old Freightliner here, the bellows bags.
Mm-hmm.
Rode hard, but the worst thing is it was stuck all the time. Oh, constantly.
Really?
And we doing a lot of barnyards. You towed it constantly. So we went from that. Then I bought my first truck that I owned outright. The business didn't own. I bought the 84 Pete 362.
Yep.
Which FSC channel, the guy out of Wisconsin.
Oh yeah, Steve.
It's identical. It's the same
Yeah.
color scheme even.
Oh yeah.
Same specs even as his truck. Same year, same specs. 400 cat, 13. I ran that for a year. And the girl I was with at the time, we were together quite a while, but she worked at the Peterbilt dealership. And she come home one day with some information on an international they took in trade, one of these 9670s.
Yep.
I don't want a damn international. They're primitive. I don't. Well, as the week went on, she kept saying, you got to come look at this thing. The price is coming down. So I went in. All right, I'll go and look at it. I fell in love, and I've had internationals ever since.
No way.
That was an 87 9670 double bunk. That was a 4 1/4 cat, 13 air ride dual eagle package. It was a nice truck.
That's the dream truck, the double eagle, double bunk. I remember driving 9670s in my beginning of my career thinking, man, would it be something to have a double bunk behind me and an eagle? That would have been cool.
Yeah. So I did that, and in fact, our father lives in Florida now. When he was in Bronson, I'd hauled some equipment down to the auctions there, the February sales in Kissimmee. Gone back up to his place. He's about 120 miles northwest of there. And I just put all new brake cans and shocks on it. I was kind of working on my oversized load sign. His neighbor come up, started talking. Making a long story short, he wanted that truck. I says, I'm not looking to sell it. Well, 3 days' time, the money kept coming up. So it took me 2 days to convince him to send my title down to me, because he's back here. He says, "You didn't sell that thing." I said, "Yeah, I did." Wow. So some friends of mine out of Ontario ran international 9370s conventionals, the pro sleepers, and they had 6 of them. They traded them every 5 years. And this last one, they were trying to sell it at the auctions down there, and they couldn't sell it. And I really kind of liked the truck. It's a 51-inch stand-up, and I just liked that look. I'm not into the big double on the conventionals.
Yeah.
Had an N14. Well, make a long story short, he says, "Hey, we can't sell it. You got to get your trailer home." He says, "Take the truck, bring the trailer home. If you buy it, buy it. If you don't, bring it to Ontario. We'll put you on a bus and get you to New Hampshire." Well, I bought it. So that was the only conventional I owned. So got into low bidding, did that for a few years, and then got engaged, had a kid, and decided maybe I had to go work for somebody. So I went to work driving a milk truck. That lasted about 1.5 2 years, and I decided I'd been self-employed too long.
Yeah.
So meantime, we found this cruise liner.
Can we go take a look at it?
Oh, absolutely. Quite by chance. Most of these trucks have a story.
I want to hear them.
Well, this one here, because we had a lot of trucks, as you can see. At that time, he had 2 Dodge Cabovers. I had a Ford W series. The only Cabovers I think we haven't had is a Diamond Reel, and Western Star.
Right. Yep.
It's the only 2 we haven't acquired yet. So anyway, we found this one advertised up on the Canadian border.
Yeah.
It was sitting in a shed. The story was, and this story has actually been verified by other people, that the gentleman was 70 when he ordered this truck. He ran, Bill Nichols was the man's name. He ran some F models for, they said Oliver Seed Company on it at the time. He had drivers in them. They had the old V8s in them. Well, this, he knew was going to be his last truck, so this one he ordered. It's got new way air ride.
Wow.
Factory dual exhaust. Has 17 gauges. I
Really?
didn't know Mac knew that many gauges existed. Never mind put them in a truck. Power window, and it's got the E9 V8.
Nice. So it's loaded.
Yes. So he come home one day. She said she was doing dishes, and she looks out the window, and he comes in the house, and she goes, "Why did you park the truck in the shed?" He says, "I'm all done."
Oh.
"What do you mean you're all done?" He says, "I'm all done." She says, "What do you mean?" The truck was 2.5 years old. 6 weeks later, he passed away.
Oh, no.
The truck went off-road because the mud was caked all up underneath it.
Yep.
Fuel tank brackets are bent back, and it hit something because the Bulldog was bent down, the windshields were broke. Something happened.
Yeah.
He knew his time was up.
Sure.
So it sat for 25 years.
Oh, my God.
It was like a time capsule. It had all the old S&H green stamp books.
Oh, yeah.
TBG magazines,
Right.
which I kept all that.
Yeah.
It was awesome. It was like a time capsule.
It was 197,000.
Yeah, 196,000
wow.
original miles on it.
Look at those massive wipers I just noticed. Those things are massive.
What do they call it? Pantograph, right?
Pantograph wiper.
They
Yeah.
go,
The wiper blade stays straight up and down. Doesn't go.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
like the
This
other one,
is-
that's Ford.
Yeah, Ford's a little more complicated setup. We can show you that, but this is like the later cruise liners in 81, 2, and 3 had this grill, totally different interior. People will correct me, I'm sure, but I call this an East Coast cruise liner, even though it's because it was made in Pennsylvania when they closed the California plant. It's a West Coast design. I got a West Coast one over there I can show you. But this is a grill denser like a Superliner.
Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then, yeah, but take a look at the interior of this.
Yeah, I want to see.
The seat is not the original seat to it.
Look at that fancy interior.
Yeah.
Can you hold this on me as I climb in?
Just like he's always been getting in the Cabover.
Look at all the room in here. I didn't realize that's such a low doghouse.
Yeah.
This is amazing.
So I did quite a few miles in the one we had, but it wasn't as fancy. This is the fancy interior, obviously.
This is really a lot of room in here. A lot of leg room.
Yeah. They were quite the truck.
What's it got on it now for miles?
238.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what he put on it. He ran it back and forth to Pennsylvania there for a while.
Yeah, 1 year I ran it every week to Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Plus I was doing some carnival rides with it, but he kept getting after me. He says, "You got to stop running it. I love this thing."
I love the custom steering wheel with Bill Nichols' name right in the wheel.
Yes. The only thing, as you see, I had to put that piece of wood on top of the dash because cruise liner dashes always crack.
Oh.
And the dash.
Oh, this is nice. Yeah.
Which directs the airflow.
Right.
So you have to have that in good shape.
I noticed the 2 ashtrays because smoking was cool back in the old trucking days. I don't even think you can get an ashtray in a new truck now.
Really?
Mine didn't come with
I
one.
was going to ask you if yours did.
No,
So,
no. The truckers are into health now for some reason. I like the 3. They got the 3 air brake buttons. Yeah. This is beautiful. What a nice interior. Yeah. Nice size bunk. Big thick mattress. This is great.
They had big sidebar stores. You could get a full toolbox in and out.
Does it start?
It should. It actually, yesterday was the first time I started it since April.
Yeah.
It started a little mean.
Should I try it?
Try it. The throttle pedal sticks a little.
Is it
neutral. Yeah.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
How do you know? It doesn't feel like it.
It's in neutral.
Okay. You good?
Yep.
Oh yeah. Start it right up. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pull that on me when I'm getting down.
There you go.
Nice.
You want to try? It needs a seat, but factory dual exhaust, factory new way air ride.
Oh, that exhaust. Oh, I can smell it. It smells good. Diesel.
Yeah,
not DEF.
Yeah, that nicey. The only thing that's quirky about this truck,
yeah,
and people will tell you it's not original. I got the line ticket on it. It has a 6-speed.
Oh.
So technically, it's not straight E9. It's an EM9.
Okay.
400. But that's the only thing I don't like about it. And I was always going to change the transmission, but I have to change the rears because these have a wicked overdrive in them.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, they've got a tall overdrive.
What's the story on this Marmon over here?
Well, there's not a story behind that one, which is actually an interesting story.
Go ahead.
I bought it online. It came out of Auburn, New York. Online auction deal.
Yeah.
Talked to the gentleman out there. He was in his late 30s at the time. And he says, my father ordered that truck and bought it. He says, because they come out of Garland, Texas, is where Marmons are made.
Sure.
He says, we packed the whole family up. He says, me and my sister, my mom and my dad, we went to Texas. We toured the Marmon plant.
Yeah.
Saw the truck starting to be built. And then we continued on vacation. He says, a few weeks later, it come to the dealership. This is a 74. And for 74, it was pretty unique. Had a 350 Cummins, 13-speed, power window, roof mount AC, which I've since have taken off, air ride, air slide fifth wheel, dual exhaust. So this was quite a truck for him. And he says, you know, that Dad ran the truck a lot. He also ran a little shop on the side, had a couple of mechanics working there, and did some trucking. And he says all he knows is 87 or 88.
Yeah, because it's got 87 stickers on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Well, I was looking at the plate there. This is 79 fuel. 78.
He said his mother had called him, says your father's not in a good mood because they just had the engine in frames and it came home on a hook 2 weeks later.
Oh.
We have the blocker on you somewhere, but number 4 didn't want to be inside anymore.
Oh, really?
It kind of made an inspection for it.
Oh.
So that's how I bought the truck. It was like he just parked it, and it, you know, I guess there was a feud between the people that did the engine work, and they weren't going to stand behind it. They started taking it apart because there's no heads on it, and that's just where it got left. So.
Let's go down the line here. Yeah. So we got some internationals here.
Wow. Yeah, that was a whole truck when it came.
Yeah.
I bought this out of Vermont. Had a Recon Big Cam 3 and a Reman 13. We ran it that summer. He drove it, and then he bought it from me yarded the engine transmission out, put it in one of his Trans 2s, did an engine swap, so I had a 350 to 10-speed. And then we sold it to a buddy of ours in town who plows snow for the state, and he said, will you run it if I set it up? I says, absolutely. So I plowed left lane with this thing for quite a few years. Loved it. One of the best plow trucks I ever had. Got a place to take a nap, it was nice and warm.
Yeah.
You could see you plow. The only time in my life I've ever had the Cabover was like, because left lane, I'm on a dotted line, so you actually got to go out a little bit to get around me. If you pass me, you got to get out of the wheel tracks. Well, I don't remember what company, doesn't matter. Freight Queen went by me, got in front of me. He lost it. He was empty. He jackknifed in front of me, and true story. I'm sitting there looking out the window at about this distance to him because the tractor was facing this way. The trailer was right in front of me, and we just slid to a stop like that.
Yeah.
And when we done, the corner of my plow was under his trailer.
Oh my God.
His eyes were this big around. But yeah, that was one time. So, but we didn't make contact. So, but anyway, I plowed snow for a lot of years. Then it got packed, and then I actually went on my own to plow trucks, and it just sat. But this is a 9800, so it's the flat 4.
Okay.
That's got an N14 in it.
So what's this, like a 96, 97?
97.
Yeah.
We got to get that. I just
is this an old rail truck?
I don't.
From out of Wisconsin, or is it a little darker maybe?
Yeah,
I think this guy painted it red.
Oh, okay.
Herds, who we got them from.
Okay.
He had 4 of these.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was a farmer over in Maine that had them. And I think they come out of Miami. But yeah, that's got a lot of room in that thing.
Look at that. Yeah.
I mean,
Who would have ever thunk in the 90s Cabovers would be condos?
right, yeah. And a flat 4.
To boot, yeah.
You know. This he bought several years ago, which kind of a blessing and kind of a curse.
Yeah.
Because now we can lug more stuff home.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
this is a tow truck.
Where'd this come from?
I got it in Biddeford, Maine.
Oh yeah?
Right?
Yeah. That guy
Biddeford,
didn't have
huh?
it too long. It come out of Georgia originally.
Georgia's son.
This one's kind of neat. First thing we did, we went to look at it. I grabbed the creeper and underneath it. It's a 275 wheelbase, factory double frame.
Woo.
Yep.
Rugged.
And so it wasn't always a wrecker. We don't know what it was, but it had the tractor delete package, so it was always a straight truck.
Yep.
But it's, does the job.
What do we get back here? So, a couple of general cabs and an international?
Yeah. Well, he's got a general that we didn't up to his place. Nice old. This is my old plow truck, just my yard truck.
That's
Wow.
the motor that come out of the Marmon, or what's left of it. The one
Is this a Fleetmaster?
Fleet Star.
Fleet Star, yeah. Fleet Star.
This got a 6V53 Detroit
Yep.
with an Allison. It had 6 new radial tires on it, a real nice tub, and a sander, and a one-way plow. I paid $800 for it. He drove it home from Vermont. I sold the tub and the sander to a guy, made him take them off for $1,500. So I owe the truck $500. But it's got heat and it plows. It does a good job. But yeah, this isn't a flat 4, but this is a 9600 stand-up.
Okay.
And then like the one down the end's a 9700.
Okay.
When they went to the flat 4s, 96s were axle forwards, 97s are setbacks. When they went to the 9800s, they could be either or. That's how that worked. But yeah.
Cool. So, do we answer the question why cabovers and not conventionals?
Okay,
Let's take a walk.
we had the first one, the cruise liner.
Yeah.
So the Cabover was kind of in our blood, so to speak. Back in the day, getting into barnyards, you always had Cabover, getting around. And we just kind of liked them. He went to an auction in Brattleboro years and years ago, bought a white TD 74 TD.
Yeah.
Is that a Japanese Freightliner?
Japanese Freightliner, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
This truck had been setting so long, the tree grew up to the frame rails was that big around. The story getting it home is on the website.
Okay.
That was a trip.
That come out of Florida?
No, they come out of Vermont.
Oh, Vermont. Yeah, yeah, you said that, yeah.
And he bought it for the engine.
Okay.
Well, we got it home and got looking the truck over, and Because, geez, this sucker's only got 200,000 miles on it, according to the hubometer and the odometer.
Sure.
We got to do something. So, stuck a battery in it. He turns the key on. Even the low air buzzer worked. Which they didn't really have low air buzzers back then. It was a, yeah.
72.
72. Well, make a long story short, it started and ran. Okay, that was the end of that. That didn't get potted out. 1 turned into 2.
Yeah.
2 turned into 3. People say, well, why do you have 22 cabovers? Because we don't have 23 yet. I don't know.
What's the story with this one right here? Long wheelbase Astro,
Tell
big
that,
grill.
yeah.
What's this, about an 85?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that, huh?
It started off like a single axle, and it was a Good Nick's Furniture over there in Rutland, Vermont. It was their
Okay.
truck. And when I got it, I mean, the mud flap ended before the quarter fender.
Sure.
And a friend of ours, I got to talk about Astros one day, and he goes, "There's one right over here in Manchester." And I said, "No, there's not. There ain't the one that close to home that I don't know about." By golly, he was right. So I went over and found it. The guy said, "Yeah, I'll sell it." So he's ready to let go in it. So I put a radiator in it. I used it a little bit as a single axle spring ride, and then decided I wanted air ride. So I tell everybody, you ever seen a Ford made into a Chevy? Because you have now. The back end of that's a 95 Ford Aeromax.
Wow. No
In
kidding.
fact, my buddy who did it, because he's a Ford fan, he owned the CL for a while. He made sure that when he put it together that the Ford logo's still in the frame,
No kidding.
just to agitate me. So, but yeah, it's well, it started off like it was a 300 Cummins, and we've kind of reworked it. It's a good running 400 better now.
Okay.
Oh, don't be so modest.
The guy put
He's put 3 transmissions in it.
So what's it got now?
It's the same block. It's still
Yeah.
the 300 block. but
Okay.
You ask him how much boost pressure it makes. I don't know.
Yeah,
Step on the throttle pegs the
takes
gauge.
the gauge, and the
So-
gauge goes to 30, 35, I think.
You're teasing us. We're gonna have to hear this thing, what this thing sounds like.
Oh, it's the smoothest.
Really?
Well, we put the fast fuel on it.
Yeah, you can see
Of course, well, I tell you about how we got our name too. That's kind of
Okay.
interesting. The gentleman that used to live here in town, but
Yeah.
he moved when he got married. But he has a shop over in Bow, but Bill Jones Diesel Service.
Oh yeah.
We call him Dr. Jones.
Yep.
Well, he's the one that coined us the Cabover King.
Okay.
So, but he is a good big cam pump guy. He really knows his stuff when it comes to Cummins. So he made this run and put the dual feed system on it.
Yeah.
This thing runs.
What a beautiful truck.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Oh, she is smooth.
For an old big cam, and when it warms up, it doesn't smoke. He put a Super 13 in it, and it's got 370s. It toots along pretty
A
good.
Super 13?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Okay. Mr. Ben Center says there's no such thing as a double overdrive
Right.
15, and he's right. But the 15-speed overs have a .73 overdrive, so it's a big overdrive. Now, like your 18-speed in your truck, that's a .73 overdrive.
Yep.
They call it because you have 2 overdrives. Your last 2 gears.
Yeah.
The same. That 13's the same exact
Oh,
thing.
yeah?
Same step in it. It steps right along.
Wow. Smells good. Take a look.
Interior is kind of nasty. I haven't run it in a month or
What's
two.
on me?
Sure.
what they call the fishbowl. Look at this, huh? This is awesome. This is really cool.
One thing I've done to the inside is, you can't see it probably, but there's 2 switches right here.
Yep.
Got cruise control.
Cruise control. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
Could be the only cab over with cruise control.
With this era,
With a
anyways,
mechanical engine, yeah.
Yeah. What a view. And there's not that many blind spots in this one, which is interesting. The big fishbowl window here.
Yeah. The old joke was with an Astro, you can't go down the road and scratch yourself because everybody can see
Yeah.
you doing it, right?
Well, the funny part about it is this is the one I drive part-time.
Yeah.
You can see it, it's been sitting a while. That's a truck I drive every day. Look at the difference in the
Yeah.
windshields.
You can't see anything in that one.
Right.
Yeah.
A buddy of ours in town who we grew up together, he does a lot of the framework, stretching, building stuff. He couldn't find an air ride cab unit for us because they haven't made them in decades.
Yeah.
So they found one that was close, and he built it, fabricated it to fit this, so that actually has air ride cab,
Wow.
and it does ride.
I bet your ride's good.
It does. It does.
So we got an Eagle here.
Yeah, a couple.
Oh yeah, 2 of them.
Yeah, this is the one I run in the summer.
Yep.
I'm probably going to register that one, run that one this winter, because he calls that one his prom queen. It only comes out in a day like today when there's no clouds.
Okay.
This one I call the pavement princess because same idea. We don't run it in the salt.
Yeah, yeah.
So, but now this one I'm getting it kind of spiffed up enough. But I got to run something. So, we don't do a lot in the winter because we plow for the state. I
Sure.
got 2 plow trucks, not leased to the state. So it kind of keeps you on a short leash.
So is trucking to you guys about making money, or is it more about you just love it and love the lifestyle? And are you guys always working on the trucks?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
constantly.
But you enjoy it, even though
Yes.
it's hard work.
Yeah. Like I said earlier, I like picking up milk at the farms, and I'm actually still there 14 years later, part-time.
Okay.
And I enjoy it. But, I've been self-employed too long, and I enjoy, going different places, meeting different people. And, I got to run to Pennsylvania here tomorrow afternoon, drop that off in Jersey, load a couple pieces of farm equipment, and bring back. I got a couple of different farmers that, I called and said, hey, I'm going to be down there. What do you need?
Sure. Wow.
That's what I do.
So you guys basically service the farm industry?
Yeah, he works pretty much full-time for an outfit at a dairy that delivers to feed stores. And that's
That's their old truck.
Oh yeah, I remember that truck.
They had 3 of them at one time.
Yeah. Wow.
An 80, an 84, and that's the 87. The 84 they still have.
Mm-hmm.
The 80 we owned for a while. And that was the last new Cabover they bought. But,
We'll go take a look at that in a minute.
yeah.
I want to take a look at this Eagle. These Eagles, 2 of them. Man, you got
Yes.
2 of them. You couldn't just have one. You had to have 2.
Well, actually, I have more. There's one over there.
Okay.
One guy, he knows, what you trying to do, corner the market? I said, yeah, double bunk Eagles.
People are going to ask me in this video, are these trucks for sale? Just say no. If you want to say no, just say no.
well, some of them could be.
Okay.
I don't know.
Not to sound like a fool, but if somebody's going to buy one and you add the motor and transmission at it and
No.
scrap the rest, no.
They can't.
Yeah.
But if you got a love for Cabovers and
So for the right person,
Yeah.
Right.
Possibly.
you might part ways with them, but they all have a sentimental value
They
to you.
Here's, and a lot of people won't believe this, but this true story, he'll verify it because he actually met the gentleman. There's a gentleman that comes up this way from, where's he from, Maryland?
which one?
The 379 guy.
Oh yeah, yeah. he's
Husband
a-
and wife team. They got a 379. It's an 07, so it's the last of them. Extended hood. It's got the 63-inch stand-up, right? It's the quintessential Peterbilt.
Yeah.
Well, he saw me one day. He got talking to him because he saw the cab over the name.
Yep.
He wants to trade trucks. And my brother says, oh, you probably won't do that. The guy says, how much cash I got to throw in? Now, most people are going to say, you're stupid. You won't trade a cab over for $379.
Right, right.
No, it's an ELD truck, and
Oh,
379s, I mean, they're great trucks.
yeah.
But like he says,
They're a dime a
people say,
dozen.
You got a 379? He goes, let me guess. He says, it's got dual exhaust, all aluminum wheels, back mount fuel tanks, drop visor, and 4 air horn. Because how am I doing so far? Because with these, pretty safe to say we're the only guys.
You're the only guys. You're the only guys.
And I like them. And these Eagles.
And you're the Cabover Kings. You're not the Peterbilt 379 Kings.
True.
If you ever rode, well, you have time in one of these. The Eagles, they were very quiet. The insulation's good. They ride good. Now, I put air ride cab in both of these trucks. You can still get the air ride cabs for these, but they ride beautiful.
Yeah.
This one, now this is a 91, this is a 93, so there's not much difference, but this is the one what I call a second generation. This has the all new updated electrical system. That was the downfall of these.
Okay.
This one has electric delay wipers, that's got air wipers. This has much better interior than that. Other than that, they're the same truck though. These are, well, these two and that white one right there are all 3406 powered air-to-air cats. This one's a 4 1/4. This has got a C model in it. These other two are B's. But yeah, now this one here, this is my baby. Now it replaced the cruise liner. But
Oh, wow. A red interior. I didn't expect that. I thought it'd be blue.
no,
Hold this on me. Wow.
You can tell he's got some Cabover miles on him.
yeah, you get right in.
Guys, it has been 30 years since I've been in a moving cab over. Just crazy. But I think I could come back to me pretty quick. This interior, you know, I've never sat in a double bunk.
See, this one actually has closets in the bunk.
I can't believe how much space is in that bunk. Wow, it's such a wide.
Ran with single bunk.
I only ran single bunks for land transport and for Walmart
Yeah.
with the Super 10s in them.
Yep.
This is, I forgot how wide these
These
are.
have, and they've always had since they come out in '81. These have, or '82 rather, electric power window, not an air window,
Yeah.
which is I like it. I think that's the only way to go.
This is an 18 speed?
Yep.
No kidding.
The shift pattern's a little misleading because this is a U shift pattern.
Oh, yeah?
You have to do that with
Oh,
this
yeah.
Cabover. I can explain why. But
Yeah.
yeah. It had a 13 originally, and then, you know, because to be the cool kid, you got to have an 18, right? So
I guess.
I put an 18
I like a 13.
So
All right, I'm coming down. There you go. Right on me. Neat. And this one's the same interior?
no, this is got the
Oh, out
older
of
style.
Minnesota.
Yes.
That's from Minnesota.
This Schultz was the farmer
the
that
Schultz?
I. Well, that's
Oh,
the farmer
a
that I
farmer,
bought.
okay.
He's second owner.
Yeah.
It originally was out of Marshall, Minnesota.
Oh,
And it was
wow.
a reefer hauler. They had a fleet of these. They were darker blue.
you know they probably hauled
probably-
hauled Schwans out of Marshall, Minnesota.
Yes.
Because I used
And
to haul Schwans.
I'm sure if I could think of the company, you're going to say, oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, a very familiar. This is very familiar. Yeah, very interesting. Marshall, Minnesota. I'm going to Minnesota next weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
This one's got, oops, I got to get the rags off the dash.
Okay. I won't even go in. I'll just.
That's all right. You can go ahead and drop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll get the rags off.
Yeah, and there's a piece of paper in the seat. Just throw it over the doghouse. This one still needs a little interior work, but this was literally a farm truck. And before I got it, it was full
Wow.
of mice.
Really?
Green, and it still got the fun, but I had to have. I took the headliner and the interior of the back wall completely out. We vacuumed it out. It's a lot better than it used to be.
This is nice. Yeah, I like this.
This is probably more like the one you ran.
Yes, that's what I was thinking. I'm very more comfortable in this one.
Yes.
Nice.
You know, both of these have the tilt wheel.
It's got 9-speed.
Yeah, I haven't gotten around to fixing that yet. This one I have plans for. I'm not going to stretch it like I did the other one.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it alone, but I'm going to put my Super 13 that was in that, I'm going to put it in this.
Okay.
And because a 9-speed, after having an 18, just like, and it's an 1800 RPM engine.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man! But I like the truck. It goes down the road. This is one of them trucks you just rest your arm right here.
Yeah.
Put 2 fingers in the wheel and go.
Yeah.
It drives itself.
All right, there you go.
He hasn't been on the road in a cab over 30 years.
30 years.
Probably got to fix that.
Yeah.
So we got to find something that. We got to find something that's registered, Mike.
Okay.
Oh no, it don't have to be. We got
No, this is
transport
true,
plate.
yeah.
We have plates.
Is that Glenn's old Cabover?
Yes. Yes, that's Mr. Glenn Crizz's old truck.
He told me not to F up this video, so. Did he tell you guys the same thing?
Well, Glenn loves to pick on me something fierce. And I pick on him, but I don't pick on him too much. I mean, after all, the guy's only half a step ahead of being a dwarf. But
He might be taller than me, so watch it.
no,
I'm
he's
just
not.
kidding.
This one still says Chris on the
Wow. What
Yeah.
a beautiful.
It was.
He's got the
Remember the anvil he's got?
Yeah, that's. I've never seen this truck before, but just the anvil. I assumed
Yeah.
it was Glenn's.
And on the
Yeah,
visor, it still says.
Chris,
Oh
that
wow!
was pretty bad.
What a
Yeah.
beauty! What a beautiful rig. Double bar. That's the dream
That's
right
a
there.
78.
Yeah.
And it's got an 8V92 in it,
Ooh.
13 speed.
Does it start?
No.
Okay.
It would if I had batteries
Yeah.
and stuff in it.
Give us a couple hours, we'd get it going.
Ah.
Glenn had it stretched a little bit,
Yeah.
but yeah.
I gotta look inside this.
It's dirty in there, Mike.
That's okay. I'm not judging.
Our maid didn't.
Yeah, the maid
Yeah.
doesn't get it.
show up today.
No, no.
Mine either.
Whoop.
Kenworths are a pain
Yes,
in
they
the
are.
It's been a while, you know. You're not supposed to put both feet in this one.
This one has
This is cool.
the nice interior in it for.
This is cool. This is my childhood right here. Kenworths and Astros.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Big bunk. Nice. Is that the VIT interior?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool.
Went back when we first started doing carnival stuff with Glenn, one of the other guys used to harass him and says, "What do you need to do? You can sleep this way. You don't sleep crosswise, Glenn. You fit both ways."
You see the difference in view between the Astro and the Kenworth,
Oh yeah.
you know? That's just a blind spot side over there.
One year we brought this over to the Granite State chapter anti-truck show, which used to be over here in Barrington.
Yeah.
One year we brought 17 trucks over. You know, it takes us 2 days to get them there,
I
to
bet.
get them home. But anyway, we had this there, and he says, "Glenn, come by the show." He's, "Glenn, come here." He's, "Get up in there and turn the key." He started that up, and he ran his hands over the wheel, and he almost, I mean, you could see he got emotional.
Yeah.
He says, "Oh,
He's
man."
got some miles in this.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
does. Yeah. He hauled a lot of horses and a lot of potatoes for
Yeah.
this truck.
This is awesome, man. Thank you for showing me these.
No problem. That's all right. That door I gotta.
Bringing back a lot of memories. So let's go down the line over here. Look at this little cutie.
He bought that out of North Dakota. and
Cargo style. Is
I
that a
was-
cargo style?
Yep, it's a cargo style. It was actually an old consolidated freight truck. believe it or not.
Really?
It's got a little V8 gas, air brakes, of course. Had a
Oh,
big
those
wheel.
poor union drivers. They gave them the best trucks.
And I had my drop deck, and I had the lower deck full, and he says, "Well, I'd really like to get this truck home." So we put that on the top deck. It fit. Cute little thing.
Yeah.
We're actually gonna. We decided here just recently we're gonna fix it up because we're gonna use it to pull my son's gooseneck stock trailer to go all the cows to the fair. We just think it'd be kind of neat. And I mean, yeah, it's pretty cool little truck.
Look at that.
You know?
It looks like a fun little buggy.
It's fun to drive.
What's a 5-speed?
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
That's neat. Yeah.
So we just, like, I used to do a lot of tractor pulling. I used to start like April, we go through October, and you're gone pretty much every weekend in the tri-state area.
Yeah.
Every weekend I wasn't on the road. But what I do is I take a different, I have my drop deck with all the weights and my tractors on it, and I just take a different truck every weekend. And the guys would always say, "Well, what are you taking?" How do you pick a truck? I said, "Well, I walk around and see which
Eeny,
one's got
meeny,
fuel in
money.
it." See, this is a West Coast cruise liner. See the
The
different
difference
grill?
in grill, yeah.
The interior is very different.
Okay.
But yeah, that's same cab.
Do you know where it came from?
I bought it up here in northern New Hampshire. It was a construction company, and it was a water wagon for that.
Oh. Wow.
Somebody had stretched it and put 4-bag the old 4-bag Kenworth air ride under it.
Yeah. Oh.
This is the one. Didn't we figure out this was a rider truck at one time or something?
Yeah, I think
Really?
I ran the VIN on it, and because it's there's nothing really Mac about it. It's got
Yeah.
a Cummins with a 13-speed and a Kenworth air ride.
Mm.
So,
Interesting.
and then this one out of I had to do something with it. But the longer it stays here, the more parts I steal, and I gotta stop stealing parts off it. This is an 84
Okay.
and Eagle. And this truck, we call it the elephant truck because it belonged to an outfit in Connecticut, and it pulled their elephants around.
Oh, really?
Yep. And this is another one, it's an Eagle.
Yeah.
But the interior, I've stolen some parts out of it, and I gotta stop. But the frame's bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's got 10 aluminums, which I had to do something to get them off, but I don't know.
Is this an add-on?
Nope. Up until 89, 88, this is the way they did it. You pull the cable inside.
Yep.
This is an afterthought. Somebody put this on. You open this one, and then you reached in, picked up to open this one. It's all one big compartment. Now, in 89 or 90, when they like those, they did away with the small door.
I don't remember ever having one of these in one of the ones I drove.
Well, if a single bunk, you wouldn't.
Okay.
Yep. They only had the one door. And other things like they did with these, it's like, and only a true 9670 guy would even
Go ahead.
care. But see how
Yeah.
right here it had the badge, an IH badge.
Oh, yeah.
But it has the bar. If you go look at those, this bar is deleted
Okay.
because they had the word international.
You're right.
And then these had, see, it's got the big side window which actually opens.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Yeah.
Oh, on the side here. Wow. That's pretty neat.
Yeah. It runs. It sounds like it wants to come apart, but I don't know. I let it run out here one day for like 2 hours
Yeah.
to see what's going to do, and it still runs. It's got a 400 Cummins with a J. I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it.
Do you run any trucks without Jakes?
Yeah.
Yours doesn't have a Jake?
His daily truck doesn't have a J.
And how's that?
Goes through a lot of brakes.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now I do a lot of feed store deliveries, and it's not heavy. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's
What's the deal with this one? This looks like a 60s model.
That's a 69.
Yeah.
In fact, Mr. Ben Center could tell you a little about that one. Came not too far from him.
Really?
And at one time, I guess he was inquiring about it.
Yeah. Let's get that
Told him
old.
I delivered to him.
Let's get that old Kenworth
Yep.
grill. Yeah. This is
Yep.
cool.
It's because the old two-knobber radio AM
Yeah.
on the glass, it says KW.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Neat truck.
Yeah. So look, the grab handles are up here.
Oh
like
yeah.
this.
And look
No
at the
ladders.
yeah.
Yep.
I'm not even gonna attempt to climb in that.
Yeah. No, the
That's for
battery
kids.
box
Look at
is-
that.
And the cool thing of this, well, I mean, I haven't even started to clean it out. We hauled
Yeah.
it home, and there it is.
Neat truck. Wow.
So
Right
I
on,
did-
lot of history in this one.
See the two shift levers?
Oh yeah.
That's a transmission to it. I got
Oh.
4x4 married unit.
Mm.
And torsion bar suspension, which if Kenworth gurus who
Yeah. Look at that.
you don't see that too often.
No.
I actually have some brochures in the house for when it came out. That told
That's
that.
interesting.
But
What a cool
I
rig.
got all the exhaust and the intake stuff. It's around here somewhere. We picked it up. We just haven't figured out what we're gonna do with it yet.
Let's go look at this Astro over here.
That actually belongs to Glenn Chris.
Oh yeah.
That Astro and that single axle 9670 right there came from the same place in Connecticut.
Okay.
I went down and hauled them home.
Oh, it's a single axle. Look at
Yes.
that. Nice, interesting paint job.
This, if I remember correctly, belonged to Batesville Casket Company.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, in Indiana.
Two
Yes.
200-gallon fuel tanks.
Ooh, look at that.
New Way air ride, and this is another one. It's not an Astro thing. Don't get confused.
Yeah.
But this one actually has cruise control.
No way.
It's not running at the moment because when they took the transmission out of it, they stole the bell housing. So, and it's Glenn's, and we're just waiting for him to figure out what he wants to do with it. But yeah, they pulled the doubles. You remember the doubles back in the
Yeah,
day?
Batesville had two sets of doubles.
They had the big
yeah.
cables
Yeah.
hooked on the corners of the trailer and went
Yeah.
back and they crossed. So when you could back them up
Mm-hmm.
Kind of a.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
Yep.
I remember seeing them all over the country.
Yeah. But this is an 87, so it's getting towards the very last of the Astros.
Yeah.
Now the one we didn't get down here is he's got, which is on the website, he has an 88. And a lot of guys say, no you don't. They didn't make him an 88.
Yeah.
Well, they did. It's hard to do research on Astros because GM got rid of the heavy truck division, obviously. But he did some looking on that one, and that one, the last 13 Astros, was it?
Yeah.
Off the assembly line went to a company. His was the last owner-operator Astro built.
Okay.
It's got a factory 200-inch or 195 wheelbase,
Yep.
new way air ride.
Yeah.
And the guy, we bought it from original owner, and it's got a big 9-foot sleeper behind the cab on it.
Double bunk?
Well, no, that's not the double
Yeah.
bunk. It was one of these.
Yeah. Okay.
But he had to crawl through a boot.
Oh.
Removed.
Oh.
And then you went into the bunk,
Yeah.
and the sleeper had a back door.
I've seen pictures of something like that before, like a
Come
North
on the
American.
website, you can see it.
Yeah.
But yeah, he did have a double bunk, and
Weren't there
that was
only like
close.
10 of them made or something? 11 made.
now people will tell you, "Oh no, I got one. I got now." Okay, just to save confusion, there was a company in Michigan that would take an Astro, bring it in, and they would cut the back wall and stretch it, and they were 108-inch cabs, right?
Right.
It was an aftermarket.
Was it Benz?
No,
No.
it was, it'll take me a minute to figure it up, remember
Okay.
the name. but
Okay.
It was an aftermarket company.
Yeah.
They would do them all. You see pictures of a double bunk trans.
Yeah.
They would do them.
Not
too.
the Live Lab. No.
Oh, it's. I can't remember.
Okay.
It'll come to
Anyway,
me.
GM made 11, kind of experiment, because if it took him like 3 years to get the research on the one he had. It left the assembly line as unfinished, and it went to another facility on GM property, and that's where they made it a double bunk. His was the 110-inch cab, so it was a factory one. Rare truck, and I don't know, he had it for 10 years. Some guy come along, and there again, he was a GM connoisseur. And it's now in Illinois, I think,
Indiana, one of the two, yeah.
something like that.
Wow.
But yeah.
What do we got? We got a CL 9000?
Yeah.
Wow.
You tired of stories yet?
No. Well, never. Hurricane.
The country
Hurricane.
singer, Lee Greenwood,
Oh,
Oh, yeah. God bless
this was
America.
his.
Yes.
Really?
He had two.
He had this one. The other one was called the Cyclone. The Cyclone and the Hurricane, and he had two tour buses that were Thunder and Lightning. Apparently, he was into his storms. So, this one, the guy that my buddy got it from, drove it since it was new. He worked for Lee Greenwood. Then somewhere in the early 80s, or late 80s, sorry, this is in 86, late 80s, early 90s, Lee Greenwood was kind of getting out of it, so he didn't need his own trucks. So Eighth Day Sound System, which it probably still
You can
says,
read
on
it.
Yeah,
Down
Down on the
exactly.
bottom
Yeah.
here, yeah.
Eighth Day Sound System bought it,
Yeah.
and Bill, the guy my buddy got it from, he went with it.
Yeah.
He worked with an Eighth Day Sound System, and he could tell you all about that.
He's the only one that ever drove this truck.
Yeah.
So Hurricane refers to Lee Greenwood, not Hurricane the chicken haulers.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was just, he named his equipment for whatever reason.
Look at that straight pipe.
Our buddy who does the framework, he stretched this one, made it a little bit bigger.
Wow.
This one had a 400 cat with 13. The back end's all original, except for he just stretched it out a little. But this one, if you notice, is odd because it does not have the factory air ride cab.
Oh, yeah.
Because the
Wow.
story was that Bill told him when they went out to get it. Let me back up just a little second. I got to tell
ahead.
this other part of the story. They'd been wanting a CL, him and his buddy, because they both had them back in the day
My first truck.
Okay.
when they were trucking. So they wanted another CL, and they'd been all winter looking for one. Well, they found one in Texas, down near the Mexican border. And they bought an old cheap Buick car, and they loaded up all kinds of tools and parts because they're looking at all the pictures of the CL.
Yeah.
The guy says, yes, it'll drive, blah, blah, blah. And they're looking at all the parts they're going to need. It didn't even have side glass in it. They were headed out the next morning. And I was on eBay looking, and I found this one on eBay, and it was just this side of Cleveland. I says, stop. Don't go. Wait. So they waited. Well, obviously, they got a boss. So they went out and met Bill. Bill was quite a character, they said. He says, this truck is hauled what Barbara Streisand,
it's
Frank
got a list of-
Sinatra. He
yeah.
Wow.
worked for them all. Motley Crue.
I didn't get the pictures, but he had pictures of this thing sitting out in front of the Mirage. The whole
Really?
time. Yeah, right on the strip. And it was kind of neat because it ain't been on the road a long time, but he was into his blue lights.
Yeah.
These are
Oh.
all blue.
Oh,
sitting
really?
Behind the grab handles.
Yeah.
But they're
So no air ride cab on this. How did it ride?
this one actually rides really good
Yeah.
because of the wheelbase. But the reason behind this one not having it is Lee Greenwood had a pair of them.
Mm-hmm.
One of them got rolled, and the driver claimed if it didn't have air ride cab, he wouldn't have rolled the truck. So when they ordered this one to replace it, they ordered it without the air ride cab.
Yeah.
But,
which is a shame.
There you go.
Yep.
A lot of steps in this one.
Yes, they're very tall.
2-story. Oh wow. Beautiful in here.
It is. I mean, it needs to be. We just
It's
talked
pretty
about this
clean.
the other day.
What a nice truck. This is a truck you could run coast to coast in.
This was my first truck was a CL Ford, which is why this one's back around here again. But
Any plans to do anything with it?
yeah, we just talked about that. I got to find another. I guess I could put another Cat engine in it.
Okay.
I've got enough motor mounts here to put Cat or Cummins,
Okay.
and it was always Cat powered, so I guess it's going to go back to it.
It's got just a nice view out the windshield.
See, this has got that weird windshield wiper setup too.
Oh yeah, I see that.
This one's even more complicated than the Mac.
I love how they put the. I didn't touch it.
No.
Oh, he's doing. I'm like, is it good?
Yeah.
Is this maximum overdrive? I like how they get the mirror on the. On the
thing
Cyclist.
is these.
That's
You ever
neat.
seen one that's got crank out? This one doesn't
Oh.
work, but you crank out the
Oh,
butterfly window.
no way.
The other thing that's pretty neat is you'd have to go over to the passenger side, but the passenger has their own heater controls.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow. This is a nice truck, and it comes with ashtrays. I'm gonna start smoking again. Kids don't smoke.
Yeah.
Neat. There you go.
Yep.
I love this little extra.
Yeah. They are a little interesting to try to get in and out of.
And what do we got here?
This is my everyday truck.
Really? I've seen you going down the road in this.
Yes. Matter of fact, this summer I passed. Well, she passed me, Rose.
Yeah.
We were on Route 2. I was kind of minding my own business. It was, I don't know, 9 o'clock in the morning. We both headed east. And she hollered something about Evel Knievel. And about as she said that, foot went on the motorcycle right down the middle between
Oh, I
the
know.
two of us. You know?
So, a lot of questions. Looks like an old McLaughlin
Yes. Old
Mayflower truck. Yeah.
This is a 350 Cat, 9-speed, air ride. It is double bunk. I like it because I do feed store deliveries. So
Okay.
it gets around.
Setback axle.
Yes.
How does it ride compared to the other trucks? Because I assume it rides horrible because you're sitting on
Well-
the wheel up your tuchus.
Yeah, no, it's not bad hooked to a trailer.
Okay.
Bobtail and this thing wants to kill you.
Yeah.
The other thing about it is he'll tell you it gets stuck everywhere. It'll probably have to get towed out of here.
See, with this driveway right here is back when it had the beanie on it.
Yeah.
And my son was quite a bit younger. He'd backed around to leave. We're going in the house, and he got here, and it's hung up.
Yeah.
With power
So my
divider.
son looks at it and he goes, "Dad, it kind of reminds you of a turtle on a rock with its feet going." When it
Yeah,
goes. So
exactly.
that's why this one's called the turtle,
So why this truck over all the other trucks?
because it was local. It only had 520,000 miles on it.
What's it got? A 9-speed in it?
He bought it and
Neat
put
truck.
it to work.
I love seeing us going down the road.
And it's a
Oh, I couldn't even. I don't even know how do you. How do you climb in
Okay,
these? That's the hardest part.
Funny part about it is because I can't tell you how foolish it is. I'll fall out of that thing because that one you get out behind the tires.
Yeah.
This one is actually pretty simple. It's straight up in.
but
if
it's
you,
not when you're not used to it. It's
if you
very
forget
awkward.
which truck
Right.
you're in, like that one, I've come out and thinking that steps are in front, and nope, I forgot, and then you end
Okay.
up falling
I
out.
want you to hold the camera on me as I climb in because if I fall, I want it on camera so it'll go viral. I guess you go like with your right.
Yep.
foot first. Oh, maybe you go like this. I don't know.
You'll probably teach me a thing or two, Mike.
Doubt that.
I only get in and out of it 15 times a day, and
What a cool rig. These have the most blind spots out of all the trucks.
Yeah.
You can't see anything over there.
Nope.
And you don't have any sissy spot mirror hanging down.
nope. It had one on the passenger side mirror over there, but then I put the chrome thing in, which I she's falling down there.
So you're changing lanes in this truck.
Hoping for the best.
Yeah, pretty much, right? Like, do you kind of like lift your head up a little bit?
So this truck here, you of course look in the convex mirror, you throw the directional on and you wait.
You can't even see the convex mirror. How come you don't have a mirror on top pointing down?
Well, I had one. There's one here somewhere, but yeah.
None into safety?
See the mirror on top of the door? Well,
Yeah.
Put the chrome thing on it.
Yeah, you can't see it now.
Yeah, I'm gonna push the chrome thing up. It's falling down. Apparently, I gotta put a screw in it over there.
Yeah.
But yeah, still with that chrome vent shade there, it's the blind spot. So yeah, you put the directional on and you wait, and if no horns blow, then you go for it. But
What's under the hood in this thing?
this is gonna C model cat 350.
Okay.
Mechanical. No cruise control, like I say.
No.
No Jake.
Where do you put the? Oh, there's the key. Oh, right there. Okay.
I don't know what you did with it. I didn't put it here.
No, it's on there.
What's been doing the key to this?
Underneath something there on the doghouse, I think. I don't remember. Rag, something on the doghouse?
Oh, is there a rag up over there?
There is a rag on the doghouse. Oh yeah, there's the key.
Yeah.
Try it.
That'll be neutral.
Oh, yeah, neutral. Okay. Upside down.
Upside down.
Yep.
This one here, stab the throttle once.
Okay.
There you go. You should go to...
Oh yeah, sounds good.
Actually, I gotta take this one home because I gotta go
There
to
you
work.
go. You gonna take this one home?
Yeah, because this one I gotta go to work tomorrow.
Oh. That wasn't too bad. Just gotta
See,
pay
once you-
attention.
yeah.
You gotta pay attention. You
Yeah.
can't just try hopping in this thing.
Right.
It's not a hopping into truck.
This one here, there again, we knew the truck had been sitting for like 10 years.
Yeah.
Kind of mentioned to the guy a couple times. And he wanted stupid money. Finally, we came to terms, and he brought it home, put one can of Freon in it. The AC works beautifully.
Yeah.
You know?
AC's got awesome heat.
You know who might have some cabovers is Atlas Moving Storage in Acton, Massachusetts,
Oh, really? Yeah.
right off of Route 2. I think they got some cabovers hidden in that little place over there.
Oh, huh.
If you need some more.
But it's. I can remember back in the day when I think it was Overdrive magazine. They had some guy who wrote for them, and like every month or every few months he'd do an article on a different new truck. that
Steve
was-
Sturgis.
Okay. I remember him writing an article on the CL Fords back in the
Yeah, I
reading
remember that article. I think I have that. Yeah.
Like little things. I can remember him saying that it's the only truck that you could turn the butterfly crank and set the butterfly and it stays. The butterfly doesn't flip shut because
Yeah.
of the wind, you know. And talk about the air ride cab. But those, I don't know how much you get into, but very complicated trucks.
Mm-hmm.
They have 3 complete separate individual heater AC systems in them.
Oh wow.
If you get in the passenger side, there's a dash.
Yep.
You can control the fan speed, the way the air comes out. It's got all the controls.
Yep.
There's 3 separate units on it. Because a buddy that does the stretching, when he had one of these in the day, he was hauling out of Quebec. And in the wintertime, that cold, oh, that truck was cold. His was too. 3 heaters and they're cold.
Unreal.
But he'd wrap a blanket around them, and he'd call me up, and I never did fix the bunk motor heat. The bunk heat actually put up the warmest air. And I'd have to crawl in, take a power wire, and zap the motor, jump start it. Once the motor was going, it ran the whole trip. And I'd duct tape them in the truck
Really?
to keep the draft so he could sort of keep warm in the thing.
Which worked good until back then you actually had toll booths that you had to stop at.
Right.
So you'd have to peel the duct tape out, run the window down.
Oh,
take
my
its
God.
toll, and then put it up.
I mean, there was a toll every 20 miles on N95.
Yeah.
You remember the black CL9000, an American trucker? It was a husband and wife team. Fred and Janice Gasperin.
Yeah.
Double bunk. And they had like a home computer. It was like nobody had computers back then. It's a great article. The guy who wrote those articles, Steve Sturgis, who's from England. Him and I ended up becoming friends.
Okay.
He was a judge in Super Rigs.
Really?
Steve passed away a couple of years ago.
Oh.
I'm Steve's replacement at Super Rigs.
Okay.
I'm a Super Rigs judge, but great guy. Oh my God, what a wonderful guy, and a knowledge of trucking like you guys. Just been around forever.
That's interesting.
So
Now that one over there is, and those two Kenworths are K100Cs. This is a K100E.
tell the people at home what the C's and the E's stand for.
Those have round headlights, four shifter. This is joystick, square headlights, and something we just learned a couple years ago. The windshields are actually tipped back just a little bit on this, more than they are those. If you put them side by side, you can see it, but it's very slight. But other than that, it's basically the same cab.
My dad had a few of these single bunks. This is exactly.
Yeah.
I spent a lot of time playing truck driver. And one of
This
these.
originally had a B cat, but
Okay.
when it got tired, Cat had a pretty good program at the time for remans, and it now has a C, a 4.25 C in it. So we have a lot of C cats.
Yeah.
The exhaust brackets on these aren't as nice as they are those. Those have the best exhaust brackets because those actually goes up and grips the pipe.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Top of the muffler.
Yep.
Well, these don't. These grip the muffler. But, yep.
There you go.
This one
You
gets
guys
a
are learn.
little micey.
Yeah.
Micey.
Yeah.
They sit too much, and
Okay, I got it.
just tell them to move over.
Yep. Oh yeah. This is cool.
Yeah. See, this one has a joystick shift, and the other one had a four
Yep.
shift.
Oh yeah. This is a new style Cabover when they made these. Oh, this is cool.
He put air ride cab on this one.
Yeah.
This one from the fuel tanks forward is really good. From the fuel tanks back, not so much. So this one's going to get a cut off.
What year is this one?
87.
87. Yeah. I know it's different here than I remember.
Yeah.
The stereo was over here.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're used
Yeah.
to, yeah, like
Yeah.
that style.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, there you go. And you got another single bunker. Is this an old Carnival truck?
Yep. Yep. Came from the same place as the Astro. Friends of ours down in Connecticut. This got a B model cat air to air, 9-speed. I bought it for parts.
Yeah.
The day before I left, because I took the farm truck,
Yeah.
I had an injector line that was weeping. So, I better replace it. So I had a new injector line.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the process of tightening the injector line down, the wrench slipped, and I bumped the oil line that goes to the air compressor, and it went, it cracked.
Oh.
And I went, the rubber line, it's not supposed to do that. Well, I didn't have one.
Yeah.
On the way to Connecticut, it started leaking. Great. I made it home. Next morning, I get back with them. I go down, tip the cab up, take the line up, go down, have the line made up, put it on. Okay, that's going. We get these off the trailer. I bring it over. I had to do tinkering to the cab tip up. Tip the cab up on it, and the parts that I bought it for are in bad shape. Can't use them.
Okay.
He's on the other side. On that side, he starts laughing. He's going to believe this. I said, what? This has a brand new line for the air compressor, the one I just replaced.
Yeah.
Started looking at the truck going, this thing's not that hateful. They told me it had fuel pump trouble. So I'm looking it over. I'm discouraged. It doesn't have the parts I need, but it's in pretty good shape, mostly. And I'm like, huh. So I put a battery to it, check the fluids, and turn the key on. The fuel cylinder doesn't click. Okay. So I run a power wire, no power to it, test light. So I run a power wire to it, it clicks. And I says, can it be that simple? Hit the button, it's that 12 years started right up.
Wow.
Well, here it is. Now we can't take it apart. So, and on the trailer, we got a bunch of engines.
Yeah.
I got the original C model that come out of my truck. It's a C model in it now. Actually, there's 2 C model cats on the trailer. There's 2 N14s.
Neat. Look at that.
Parts, keep parts around.
Yeah. You
And
need
just so
them.
people don't think we're really biased, we do have one with a hood.
Oh, look at that. speed buggy. Where'd that come
Now,
from?
You may know a little something about this truck.
Oh, really?
I'll tell you who owned it. A lot of people who drive through Deerfield are going to say, where did the Peterbilt go? This is Petey. You see Petey on it, right?
Okay.
This belonged to Barbie. She's born about yay tall.
Huh.
She bought this truck to 78.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it's the last year of the 4-door sleeper, I'm told. I'm not a Pete connoisseur. It's got a 3406 PC.
PC?
Yes,
that?
pre-combustion.
Oh, yeah.
It has glow plugs.
Oh.
And when you start it, it doesn't run at the moment. It really rattles like an old 1693 Cat.
Sure.
Yep. I actually drove this truck because she worked for us some back in the day when we were hauling cows.
Yeah?
And one of the few guys around that's ever driven this truck besides her. But she pretty much most of its lifetime, okay, back up real quick. She bought it in 1980,
Yeah.
so the truck was a year and a half old. She took a bus to Pennsylvania when she was 20 years old,
Yeah.
bought this, got in it, and went right to work.
Really?
Now you think about being a short,
Yeah.
small blonde girl in 1980, trucking back then. That was hard trucking for you. For a girl.
Absolutely.
And then she hauled chocolates for a while, and then she went to work pulling chemical tankers. And that's where a lot of people are going to recognize this.
Okay.
She worked for Roy Brothers for a
Oh,
long
yeah.
time.
No kidding. Out of
Yeah.
Billerica.
And then towards the end, it was Hawk. Yeah. Hawk Transport she worked for.
I don't remember ever seeing this.
No? You went to like a celebration of life,
Yes, at Roy Brothers.
yeah, recently for a gentleman that passed.
Yep.
And Bobby knew him well. Don't trip over my big nose.
Tippy Toes. That was his.
Yeah.
Ooh. That's a sexy little truck, too.
Well, she called one day here a couple years ago, and she says, listen, I'm never going to fix it. I don't want to see anything bad happen to Petey. This is Petey, it's her friend.
Yeah.
She says, well, you guys take it and do something with it. So it's now my son's. He's actually got it titled to his name. And he's 15, so I got to get on it for too long. But
He's got the fever.
well, we got to get it so he can use it. But I know most people say just yard that out, put a B model Cat in. No, I want to keep it that original rattly old Cat. And so is my son. He wants to keep it original. We put new sleeper boot in it. We've had to put new hinges, new door latches because now the door's opened. So we're slowly working on it. But we're not sure if we're going to... My son doesn't want to stretch it. He wants to leave it the way it is, so we'll see.
I like it the way it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're collecting parts.
What a kid. 15 years old.
So
That's the future of
he's into his
trucking.
cow. As you see, that's his cattle trailer,
Okay.
and that's what he wants. And so Dan and I said, well, Jake, if we get this going, you can haul your cows to the fair with
Love
it.
the old
Yes.
bug shield.
Yep.
Yeah. She had a light there.
Yep. She had the little marker lights.
Oh, yeah, look at that, huh?
Did you see the how you get in the bunk in this? The old style.
Yeah,
crawl
the crawl through, yeah. You got to be small to get one of
Yeah.
those.
or real tired.
Yeah.
She was trucking for us, and she come out of Western New York, and something happened to delayed real bad getting home.
Mm-hmm.
And she called it, because it's before cell phones. She's, listen, I'm going to be coming through Manchester, she says, about 1 in the morning. And she was scheduled to go up to Rockland, Maine, because I had a deal hauling Fisher snowplows for a lot of years.
Mm-hmm.
She says, she was supposed to load at 6 in the morning. She says, I'm beat. She says, can you meet me in Manchester? I'll nap, you drive. I said, okay. So about 2 o'clock, I met her, and I was 19 or 20 at the time. And so I get in, she says, all right, a couple things you got to know about Petey. She says, if Petey starts to get a little warm, just flip the switch on, turns the fan on. I said, okay. If you get cold, just give him a kick right here, and it'll get the heater motor going. The heater will work. I says, okay, it's got personality. So away I go. Being a Cabover guy, I did great till I got to the first tone booth at the main turnpike.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Cabover's easy. You just line yourself up. The rest of it fits. Well, I'm sitting in this thing, and you sit in the middle of the truck.
Yeah.
And the other thing, I don't like 359s. Forgive me, people, for saying this, but the cabs are like this.
Mm-hmm.
So the doors, so you feel like you're going down the road cockeyed. And I'm trying to line myself up in tow booth, and anyway, I got us there, no issues. PD didn't overheat, and we made it. But the old cattle trailers, we had bull racks back in the day, and they don't have crank landing, they got stiff legs. And our Mac was a little taller than this, evidently. So she backed under it, and it didn't lift it up so you could pull the pins.
Yeah.
So she says, no problem. He was there.
I was young. I was real young. And of course, we had Camelback Mac for a spring ride truck. Right? Used to air ride. So she's no problem. So she gets under in. I now know she took the love bone valve apart.
Yeah.
But Mike, next thing I know, she done something on there, and she goes up, PD up, on the kid.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the suspension goes up. We're going, holy hell, the
Yeah.
truck's listening.
Wow.
Because like I say, now I know what she did. It's kind of stupid, but when you're just a kid,
That's
you're
funny.
pretty amazed. But yeah, so she was able to pin it and go whole cows with it.
She's still around though?
Yeah,
She
yeah.
is, yeah.
Yep.
Well, hopefully she'll
Yeah,
see
still
this,
lives
get
in
this
town.
video. Oh, great.
Yep. She's, she says, if you guys get it running, she says, I'd like to take it for one last ride.